It's Diane Brennan, and welcome to Dynamic Living with Diane. And that's what we're going to talk about today. What does that mean? Dynamic living. What is that? Does it actually mean to live a dynamic life? I can only answer what it means to me and how I understand it, and the point of view then that I come from with that is that a dynamic life is one where you wake up with joy and energy, looking forward to your day, knowing what you're going to do today, excited about what you're going to do today, excited about life, feeling joyful, fulfilled, like you have a purpose and you're looking forward to doing those things that fulfill that purpose for you. We need to feel relevant in society. And going to a job that you hate, trudging along on a hamster wheel, can't wait until break, can't wait until you're done with work for the day and you get to go home, and then you're stressed because now you've got to prepare dinner for the family and you got to get the kids doing their homework. That is not dynamic living. That is not something to get excited about every day, right? I mean, the kids I'm sure are, right? But it's that daily grind is not a dynamic life. And it makes you feel like you're doing something, but it doesn't necessarily mean you feel like you're truly relevant, especially if you're in a job where you feel like you're just a number and you're easily replaceable. Um, if you, so many people are living that life, especially here in the United States, because we've got to do what we've got to do to pay the bills. We've got to do what we've got to do in our daily life, taking care of our family and everything. But like I said, how do you feel when you're on vacation? Now there's a dynamic life, right? You get up, you're excited to go do whatever you've planned for the day. You have plans for the day, where you're going to go, what you're going to do, and you're looking forward to that. And you're in a relaxed state because you're out of the daily grind. That is a dynamic life. And it is possible to achieve that while still living the daily life you need to live. I mean, the first thing I'm going to say, if you really have a job that doesn't fulfill you and you really don't like it, you don't feel useful, you feel like you're just a number and you're replaceable. They don't care whose butt is in that seat as long as there is a butt in the seat. And I've had those jobs. Okay. So I know how that feels. I do. Then find out what it is you really want to do and start taking steps to do that. Do you want to own your own business and be your own boss? What would it take to do that? If you start taking steps in that direction, or do you want to change careers? You always wanted to go to school to become something in particular. It's never too late to do that. There are grandmothers who have gone back to college and become doctors and lawyers in their 50s and 60s. It's never too late. So, I mean, Louise Hay, Hay House Publishing, author of so many books, who's helped and influenced so many people and really, really, really is the founding queen of the self-help industry explosion, didn't start until in her 50s. And she didn't really become Louise Hay, as we know her now, till in her 60s. It's not too late to follow your dream. So figure out what that is, take a step, and start doing it. Are you living a life that's very sedentary? And you're finding that you're aging and it's getting harder and harder to move. And maybe you're only in your 30s or 40s. Maybe you're in your 50s or 60s. And you're finding it harder and harder to do things. Well, that doesn't feel like a very dynamic life. And I know because I've been there too. Start taking small steps, literally. Start taking steps. Start going for a walk in your neighborhood or on a local trail somewhere. There are parks with trails, with easy trails. Start making small changes. James Clear in his book Atomic Changes talks about exactly that. Start small. And it's like throwing a pebble into a lake. The ripples go out to the rest of your life. If you start making one small change, that helps motivate you and inspire you to start making other small changes. And those small changes start to add up to being a big change because it's overwhelming to us to try to make a big change. You don't go from sitting in front of your TV all day or sitting at your desk at work all day and then going home and sitting in front of the TV to doing a 5-mile hike. Okay? You have to start small and make those small changes. But making them will help you start to feel like you are living a more dynamic life. And this is what I do with my clients. I help identify the changes they really want to make. And then I help them start making those changes. We start creating an action plan. We start putting it together so that you're making those changes in really, really small bites. Not trying to take, half a loaf all at once, right? So what would your dynamic life look like to you? What would make you wake up in the morning feeling like you had something to really look forward to? What would that take? And you want to start with what would the end goal be? How long do you think it would take you to achieve that goal? Do you need to go back to college for that goal? And if you have to work full time and you have a family, does that mean you have to go to work or go back to school part time? Can you change jobs or change shifts so that you can accommodate more classes? If you need a program, like if you're going to nursing school, there's not a lot of part-time to that. I worked full-time while going to full-time nursing school. You can do like your prerequisite general courses first and then your focus courses, but it's still a lot of hours. So you have to then try to find a job. And there are many available in the healthcare field where you can get a job that can work around your nursing school hours because you can work an alternate shift. Sometimes what we have to do is going to be a little uncomfortable. It's going to not be what we're doing now. It's going to break our routine. It may cause some inconveniences, but in the long run, it's going to be worth it. Because in the long run, you're going to make that dream come true. And in the meantime, though sometimes you may feel like you're in that grind, okay, you're still going to feel like life has a purpose and a meaning now, and it's going to feel more dynamic to you. It's going to feel, you're going to have more energy, you're going to have more joy, just naturally, even while you are doing those harder things. Living a dynamic life doesn't mean it's an easy life. Sometimes it's hard. Making changes is not easy, and sometimes there's a long process to it, depending on the change. And it can be, it can be a little rough. But it is so worthwhile. to not be tired, depressed, bored with life, feeling like you don't have a real purpose, like, why am I even getting up every day and doing this? To feel like, I know why I'm doing this. I know what I'm doing. I've got a goal and a game plan, and I'm getting there, right? So it's what I encourage you to do if you are feeling like your life is not what you really wish it was. If you feel like there is more that life should be, then you're right. So do something about it and start it today. Even if the start today is simply starting to think about what that thing is that would make you feel that way and what you can do about it. There is nothing that can't be achieved if you know, if you really, really, really want it. The old saying is, where there's a will, there's a way, and that's so true. I hope you've enjoyed this. Much love, much light, many, many blessings, and I'll see you in the next one.